Hello, Homeworks members, and welcome to your 2024 district meeting tonight. We're so excited to have you logged on with us tonight. I'm Casey Phelan, and I'll be your moderator for tonight's event. Before we begin, let's quickly cover our meeting protocol so you know how to participate with us this evening. If you've attended virtually with us before, you know the drill. You can interact with us during tonight's meeting by using the simple buttons that pop up on your Zoom webinar screen. The first button is Raise Hand. You'll use this button anytime you'd like to make a motion or second a motion tonight. Next up is the chat button. You can type in the chat box if you'd like to make a comment, nominate yourself or another member for a position, or bring up any matters of business this evening. Third, the Q&A button is to be used if you have a question that you'd like to pose to our CEO. Clicking on this button will bring up a box that allows you to type your question, which we'll pass on to Mr. O'Neill for the Q&A session at the end of tonight's event. Our communications manager will be monitoring your comments and questions throughout the meeting, and we will be sure to follow up with you afterwards if any of your questions are unable to be answered during the live event. Back to voting. When it's time to vote on a motion this evening, your voting options will pop up directly on your screen for you. Simply click on the button representing the way that you would like to vote, and as the votes come in, the polling numbers will show up right there on the screen so everyone can see the results in real time. Moving on. Do you have your district meeting scratch-off card ready for tonight? You should have received it in the mail as long as you registered by April 28th. We hope you'll join in tonight in the fun during the meeting by scratching off the different circles on your card when we tell you to throughout the meeting to see if you have a winner. If you have a winning card at the end of the night, you'll simply mail it back to us with your name and service address filled in by May 31st, and we'll verify it and apply your prize. You could win 1, 3, or 6 months of Homeworks Connect fiber internet service for free, or an equivalent bill credit on your electric account just for playing along. We'll be back at different points throughout the meeting to tell you when to scratch off the different circles on your card, so keep your card handy. Next, I want to remind you that you can follow along with some of the topics we discussed this evening in your digital district meeting booklet, which you should have received by email this afternoon. This helpful booklet can also be accessed at homeworks.org/D1booklet. And finally, as always, be sure to stay logged on until the end of this meeting so you don't miss out on the prize drawings that you were automatically entered into just by attending tonight. We have a lot of great items that we're excited to give away, but you must be present to win, so stay with us. All right, now that you've got the basics down, it's time to get started. Here to officially kick off tonight's meeting is your District 1 Director, John Lord. Good evening, Director Lord.
Hello, District 1 members, and welcome to your 2024 live-streamed virtual district meeting. It is great to have so many of you logged on this evening. Isn't it nice to be a part of a local rural electric cooperative where we have opportunities like this to come together and engage directly with our CEO and others who lead this unique organization? That's an important part of the co-op difference. Homeworks is locally owned by you and me and our neighboring members all across our rural Mid-Michigan service footprint. You and I aren't just customers of Homeworks, we're members and owners, and we all have a say in the direction of the cooperative. As your District 1 Director, you have elected me to represent your interests on the board, and I thank you for entrusting me with that responsibility. When my fellow directors and I make decisions, we do so with your needs in mind, not to satisfy the financial goals of some faraway investors, but being a small, locally owned electric cooperative does not mean that your co-op isn't doing big things on the state and even national level. Did you know that in partnership with our power supplier, Homeworks is a state leader in providing you with power that is well over 50% carbon-free and 20% renewable? Or that our CEO and his staff have played an important role in recent legislative advocacy efforts regarding electric grid reliability and rural broadband access, among other things? Of course, we all know that Homeworks has been on the leading edge of providing quality broadband access to our members. Now, co-ops across the country are following suit and helping to fill the broadband gap for rural America. And perhaps most importantly for us, Homeworks leads by example in providing us with power that is over 99.9% reliable and consistently outperforming our much larger neighboring investor-owned utility in the Michigan Public Service Commission's reliability and service standards. CEO Chris O'Neill will talk more about these outstanding achievements during his co-op update in just a little bit. But first, we have our brief business meeting to conduct this evening. Our district includes Homeworks members who reside in Eaton, Ingham, and Jackson counties. Just over 3,000 of the co-op's 23,000 members receive service in our district. I am currently serving my third three-year term as your District 1 director, after being re-elected in 2022. In addition to electing your board representative every 3 years, you also choose district officers at this meeting each May and approve delegates to represent our district at our annual meeting in August. Our current district officers include our district vice chair, Minor Roth of Grand Ledge, who will conduct our brief business meeting in just a few minutes. Our district secretary is Kelly Freeman from Vermontville. Our district chair, Jim Wieland, stepped down this year, leaving that position open to be filled this evening. Thank you, Jim, Minor, and Kelly, for your service to our district. And thanks again to all of you for joining us here this evening to participate in the democracy of our co-op. Having engaged member owners makes Homework a stronger cooperative. Now, please welcome CEO Chris O'Neill.
Thank you, Director Lord. District 1 members, welcome to your 2024 district meeting. I'm Chris O'Neill, your co-op CEO. I want to echo Director Lord in saying that it is my great privilege and honor to serve you, and it is a responsibility that I do not take lightly. We are continually striving to develop new and innovative ways to better serve you, and you'll hear about some of those projects later tonight. I really appreciate that you've taken the time to join us tonight. It's your engagement and ownership that helps co-ops like Homeworks set apart from other utilities. Now, I want to quickly highlight another thing that really sets co-ops apart, which is our community outreach. One of the most significant ways we try to reach out to our local communities here at Homeworks is through our Tri-County People Fund. Our People Fund has granted over $2.65 million to families and organizations throughout our service territory since 1993. As you know, our People Fund wouldn't be possible without those of you who voluntarily round up your monthly electric bill to the nearest dollar as part of our Operation Roundup, and I want to sincerely thank each and every one of you who do so. Our People Fund board of 7 volunteer directors works very hard to make sure each grant request is considered with care. Here in District 1, your People Fund director is Tony Piper. Thank you, Tony, for all the time and compassion you and your fellow board members put into this important program. I also want to take a minute to recognize our longtime District 6 People Fund director, Dick Donnelly, who stepped down in March after 20 years of dedicated service to the board. I like to say that if there was a Mount Rushmore of Homeworks folks, Dick's face would be on it. In addition to his work on the People Fund, he has volunteered as district officer in his district for many years. He's just a heck of a guy and a great supporter of our co-op. And we're going to miss him and his insights and guidance on the People Fund board. Speaking of Mount Rushmore of Homeworks folks, I want to honor another person who would certainly be on that mountain. and that's our electric operations manager, Chris Reed. I'm sure many of you know Chris. He is a tireless Homeworks ambassador who embodies the co-op spirit as much as anyone I've ever had the pleasure of working with. Chris has announced that he will be retiring in August after 36 years of service with the co-op, and we are sure going to miss him. Thankfully, he's been able to pass along his valuable insights and co-op knowledge to longtime Homeworks lineman who will be stepping into his role, Mr. Ryan Smith. Thank you, Chris, for everything you have given to the co-op over the past 3 decades. All right. Outside of the People Fund, we have a couple other community programs that help to make a big difference locally. This year, we made Touchstone Energy classroom technology grants to several local classrooms, including a $1,200 grant here in District 1 to Maple Valley Schools for technology upgrades to help students learn. We also awarded a $2,500 Touchstone Energy college scholarship to 5 very deserving high school students in our service territory. And in June, we will be sending 4 outstanding students from our local communities to take part in the Electric Cooperative Youth Tour, which is an all expenses paid trip to Washington, D.C. to learn important lessons about leadership, the co-op business model, and our great country's history. Another way we're able to impact our local communities this spring was through the matching grant program offered by one of our lenders, CoBank. With CoBank's help, we were able to donate $7,000 to the Barrington Mobile Food Pantry, $7,000 to the Mecosta Area Senior Center, and $6,000 to the Chippewa Hills Orchestral Society to support their important work in our service area. Like you, we're truly invested in continuing to make rural Mid-Michigan an even better place to live. Thank you for helping us to make a difference in our community year in and year out. Outside of our People Fund and our grant and youth programs, another way your cooperative reaches out to our local communities is through our safety program. As your electric utility, we know how important it is to provide information to our members and the public about how to stay safe around electricity and other products we distribute. One way we do that is with our hotline demonstration trailer that we take around to local schools and events. If you're interested in talking to us about bringing our electric safety demo to your event, please give us a call. On the topic of safety, I do want to quickly touch on an unfortunate string of incidents of gunshot damage to our regulators, transformers, and other electric equipment that we've been experiencing over the past several months. These incidents appear to be intentional, and we are working with the Michigan State Police and local law enforcement to investigate the situation. So far, these incidents have caused tens of thousands of dollars in damage to our electric system you own. Of course, damage like this can cause safety and reliability issues as well, so we're very intent on putting an end to it as quickly as possible. If you see or hear anything that would be of help in the investigation, please give us a call or report it to the Michigan State Police. Another quick update I wanted to provide you regarding both safety and reliability is that we are currently wrapping up the testing and piloting of our new electric outage text notification program. With this offering, you'll be able to receive text messages when your power is out to update you on the progress throughout the restoration. We plan to fully launch this convenient program by June 1st, so watch for more information to come very soon. Something else I'm excited to announce is that we'll be hosting your district's park party on June 20th at Bennett Park in Charlotte. We were overwhelmed by the response to these community events last summer, and we really enjoyed the opportunity to meet so many of you. We'll send out more details as the event nears, and we hope to see you there. Later in the summer, your annual meeting will also be back at the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort in Mount Pleasant on Saturday, August 17th. If you opted to serve as an annual meeting delegate when you registered for this meeting, you'll receive your invitation in the mail in the coming months. All right, I'll be back up with a brief pre-recorded operations update for you in a few minutes. First, you need to hold your annual business meeting. Your district vice chair, Minor Roth, will now come up to conduct this portion of tonight's proceedings. Good evening, Minor.
Good evening. Thank you, Chris. I'm Minor Roth, and I have served as your district vice chair for several years now. Homeworks Executive Assistant Michelle Hoon just informed me that we do have a quorum with 110 member households in attendance tonight. Thank you for taking the time to log on. Let's start our business meeting off with a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Now we'll have our secretary, Kelly Friedman, take care of our next agenda item.
Thank you, Minor. The notice of meeting, proof of mailing, and the 2023 minutes are on pages 4 and 5 of your district meeting booklet. I'm going to make a motion that we dispense with the reading of these and accept them as presented. Minor?
Thank you, Kelly. Kelly, can I get a second to accept the notice of the meeting, proof of mailing, and 2023 minutes as presented? Our moderator tells me we have a motion and a second to accept the notice of meeting, the proof of mailing, and the minutes from our last meeting as presented. Please vote on this motion using the polling buttons on your screen now. Thank you. Motion carried. When you registered for the annual or registered to attend this meeting, you were asked if you wanted to be invited as a delegate to the HomeWorks annual meeting in August. Those of us who signed up to serve as 2024 annual meeting delegates are listed on page 7 of your district meeting booklet. I move that we dispense with the reading of the delegates and accept the list as presented. Can I get a second? It has been moved and seconded to approve the delegates as presented. Please vote now using the functions on your screen. Motion carried. Mr. O'Neill, please come forward for the election of the district officers.
Thank you, Minor. First, let me remind you what your volunteer district officers do for your cooperative. The chair typically runs the annual membership meeting. The vice chair steps in if the chair is not available, as Minor is doing here tonight. The secretary reads the notice of mailing and calls for approval of the minutes from the previous year's meeting, as Kelly did this evening. Every 3 years, the officers also serve as the nominating committee when your district's board seat comes up for election. That will be their job this next year. Your district chair seat is currently vacant. Your vice chair, Minor Roth, has expressed that he would be willing to move to the chair position if elected. Is there a motion to nominate Minor Roth for chair? We have a motion. Is there a second? We do have a second to nominate Minor Roth. Are there any other nominations from the floor? If not, let's go ahead and vote on your chair position now. Thank you. Minor Roth has been elected as your district's chair. Your district vice chair is Minor Roth, but since you just elected him as chair, you'll need to elect a new vice chair. Prior to the meeting, Tim Smith of Grand Ledge expressed his willingness to run for this position. Is there a motion to nominate Tim Smith for vice chair? We have a motion. Is there a second? Thank you. We have a motion and a second to nominate Tim Smith. Are there any other nominations from the floor? If not, let's put your vice chair position to a vote. Thank you. Tim Smith has been elected as your vice chair. Your district secretary is Kelly Freeman. Is there a motion to nominate Kelly to serve another term? We have a motion. Is there a second? It has been moved and seconded to elect Kelly Freeman. to nominate Kelly Freeman, excuse me. Are there any other nominations from the floor at this time? Okay. If not, let's go ahead and put the secretary position to vote now. Thank you. Kelly Freeman has been elected as your district secretary. Thank you to all of our candidates and thank you to our district officers for all they do for your co-op. Now I'll turn it back over to Minor.
Thank you, Mr. Neal. Is there any other business to come before this district? If not, I will accept the motion to adjourn. We have a motion. Is there a second? Moved and seconded, we are adjourned. Thank you. Now I'll hand it over to moderator Casey Phelan.
Thank you, Minor. And thank you to all of the members who voted in our business meeting here tonight. Now we're going to move on to the co-op update portion of our meeting. But first, let's get out your scratch-off tickets to scratch off the first section of your card. Okay, scratch off circle number 1 only and see if it matches the winning symbol shown on the screen now. If it does, you're off to a great start. If not, don't worry. I'll be back later in the meeting to reveal the next winning symbol. And if you match any section throughout the evening tonight, your card is a winner. Now, CEO Chris O'Neil has pre-recorded an informative update for you. And at the conclusion of the briefing, Chris will be back up here live in person to answer your questions. Remember to use the Q&A box at any time during this video to enter any questions that you would like to pose to Chris. Now, sit back and enjoy Chris's co-op update.
Hello, Homeworks members. You've just finished up your business meeting, which is one of the reasons our bylaws call for us to hold these events each year. You and your neighbors own Homeworks Tri-County Electric Cooperative, and it's important that you have an opportunity to make your voice heard in our elections and other voting matters each year. Your co-op has been democratically run by the members since it was founded by a local group of farmers 87 years ago. And that still sets us apart from other types of utilities to this day. Beyond your business meeting, the reason I love our district meetings is that they give us a chance to give you real insight into the operation of your co-op. With other types of utilities, the relationship between the customer and the corporation is typically transactional in nature. You pay your bill each month and they provide you with service in return. And it doesn't go very far beyond that, right? It's different here at Homeworks because being a member-owned co-op, we seek more of a partnership with you. Of course, we're here to provide you with reliable electricity, but we also strive to get to know you and your communities so that we can advocate for you and discover new ways that we can work to enhance the quality of your lives. That's how our service, like Tri-County Propane and Homeworks Connect Fiber Internet, came to be. Those offerings were born out of the real conversations with you about the gaps you felt we could help fill in your communities. We truly are here to solely serve you, so we value any opportunity to give you a look at your co-op and to hear back from you on the ways we can serve you better. So let's get started. First off, I want to take a minute to recognize the 109 employees who make everything we do at Homeworks possible. For instance, did you know that just 24 Homeworks linemen keep the lights on for our nearly 24,000 members across our service footprint? Or that just 19 member service reps take care of the needs of our electric, propane, and fiber internet and phone customers who call in or stop into our offices each day. Across every department, we hire talented, caring, and hardworking individuals, and they work incredibly efficiently to provide you with customer service that is beyond compare. As your CEO, I couldn't be more proud of the extraordinary team we have serving you. Outside of their work in the office and in the field, our employees are doing great things in your communities as well. We told you last year about our employee community engagement program that recognizes employees for the volunteer work they do. Thanks to the generosity of our workforce, that program continues to grow. Can you believe that last year, our employees served a total of 4,814 volunteer hours throughout our service territory? Tri-County Propane Team Lead Trevor Wood was recognized as our 2023 Volunteer of the Year for serving an incredible 356 hours. And in total, 78 employees participated in the program. Even more than their talent on the job, I appreciate these employees for their genuine desire to make a positive impact on the lives of their neighbors in need. Cooperative principle number 7 is concern for community, and I'm proud to come to work every day with a team of people who truly embody that value. Another cooperative principle is member economic participation. Because you are a member owner of Homeworks with a financial stake in the co-op, we strive to always provide you with an honest look at our operations and our financial status each year. You'll find a detailed financial report on pages 8 and 9 and 12 and 13 of your district meeting booklet. The co-op is continuing to grow slowly with a net of 248 new active meters in 2023. Due to mild weather conditions in 2023, energy sales were down, with a 4% decrease in kilowatt hour sales over 2022. While sales were down, our costs continued to rise, which, as you know, necessitated a rate increase in October, which I'll talk about more in just a minute. But with that increase and the successful long-term planning of our accounting team and our board, we're again able to keep our overall financial numbers strong, which is no small feat in these times. I'm proud to report that the financial status of both the cooperative and our subsidiary is healthy. I mentioned that you are a part owner of Homeworks. Did you know that means you get a share of our profits? That's right. Being a co-op member means that when we have operating margins, that money gets allocated back to you as capital credits based on your share of electricity purchases during the year. That allocation of margins helps to make up your equity in the co-op. Our bylaws call for us to use those funds as needed as operating capital for the cooperative. Then, during years that our board deems the financial status of the co-op will allow it, we retire some of our capital credits and return them to you, typically as a credit on your bill. So far, we have returned well over $24 million in member equity to you and your neighbors. In fact, you may have noticed a bill credit on your electric bill this past December when our board authorized a $750,000 capital credit retirement. Members who purchased energy from Homeworks in 1992 and or 2022 received the capital credit retirement. Capital credits are another obvious example of the co-op difference. Can you think of another service that you pay for where you receive equity and eventually cash back when the company turns a profit? It's not a common occurrence, that's for sure. And it's something we are proud to be able to provide to our members as a rural electric cooperative. We had another mild winter this year. So in March, our board decided to hold off until the fourth quarter of this year to determine if another capital credit retirement is viable based on our 2024 financials. Be sure to watch your Country Lines magazine for more info on that decision to come later this year. Okay, moving on to one of my favorite topics here at Homeworks, electric reliability. I'm thrilled to report that your power was once again over 99.9% reliable in 2023. Our power consistently hits that standard in a large part because of the investment we have made to continually harden our electric system against wind and storms. Our right-of-way program really does play a pivotal role in keeping your lights on by preventing outages before they occur. Tree trimming and tree removal is one of the things that we receive the most questions about from our members. So we put together a quick video that explains why and how we keep our right-of-ways clear. I think you'll find it very informational. Let's take a look.
The right of way is basically a corridor that we like to keep trees clear of the power lines. Depending on the type of construction of the power line, depends on the width. It's anywhere from 30 to 40 feet wide. Well, our 6-year cycle is based on the average growth of most trees in the area. If we clear our right of way to full specs, that'll give us enough time between clearings to ensure that our linemen can safely and efficiently make any repairs or do any maintenance, as well as keeping vegetation from encroaching on the power lines.
The reason we trim the trees is for safety and reliability. Trees are the number one cause of our power outages. Even with the 6-year cycle that we're on, they still are the number one cause. It's beneficial to be proactive so we can obviously prevent these outages before they happen.
So when we schedule our right of ways to be cleared, we send out postcards to every member that lives on that circuit, letting them know, contractor A will be in your area to clear the right of way. And we require our contractors to have a planner stop at each location that needs work, review the specs with the member, get a plan together with the member. Communication is the key to making this whole thing work.
When I talk to the members and try to explain, why it is we need to cut the trees, certainly safety and reliability are the first things that come to mind. No one likes to have their power off. Certainly, most people don't like to have the trees cut either, but they can understand the reason why we need to do it. The members expect reliable power just because our power is 99.9% reliable. And over the course of the years, that's increased because of our right-of-way program. So we're very proud of that.
I think our right-of-way program is a little bit different than, some investor owns, with our members owning the cooperative. It's everybody takes their part and they're more willing to work with us. The co-op has done a really good job of building trust with our members to make sure we're doing the right thing we can with their money. The big picture is it's the member system. We're member owned. The member owns the power lines, the poles, the transformers, everything that we want to keep clear, keep up, and keep operating as flawless as we can. It benefits them the most because they do own the system.
We know from past experience that keeping the right of way cleared is the most efficient and effective way to keep the lights on.
I hope that video gave you a little bit of insight into why we pay so much attention to keeping our areas around the electric lines clear of vegetation. Now, there's no denying the fact that the cost of maintaining a reliable electric system, like most costs in the current environment, continue to rise. Everything from the expenses of vegetation management to contractor and material costs significantly increased in price throughout the past year. To cover the costs while continuing to provide you with the superior reliability and service you've come to expect from us, it was necessary for us to increase our rates last October. For most rate classes, this increase was split between the kilowatt hour charge and our availability charge, which is the fixed portion of our bill. The availability charge is designed to cover the cost of maintaining a distribution system to serve you before you ever turn on your light switch. For most of you, as residential members, the availability charge increased from $31 to $33 a month, and the per kilowatt hour charge increased from 12.68 cents to 13.37 cents. For the typical residential member using 835 kilowatt hours per month, this resulted in 5.3% increase in your monthly electric bill. If you've been a HomeWorks member for long, you know that we strive to keep any rate increases as minimal as possible. After the October adjustment, our rates are still in line with or lower than the neighboring investor-owned utility, even though we serve a rural territory with far less density. As your CEO, I can give you my word that just as we have over the past 87 years, we will remain committed to keeping our rates competitive and making sure that your electricity remains a great value for you now and into the future. Speaking of the future, let's talk about our state's energy future, which is undergoing a significant transformation with the late 2023 signing of a comprehensive set of bills by Governor Gretchen Whitmer. The bills passed swiftly on party lines, with House and Senate Democrats comprising all of the support for the package bills. You may have heard that the first of these bills, Michigan's new 100% clean energy by 2040 target, stands among the most ambitious in the country. It will require all the state's electric utilities to employ a portfolio of 100% carbon-free resources by 2040, surpassing the rigor of even California's clean energy laws. Clean energy is largely defined as wind, solar, hydro, and nuclear. This legislation mandates utilities to procure 50% of their energy from renewables by 2030, escalating to 60% by 2035, a substantial leap considering the state currently stands at 16%. Starting in 2035, the renewable portfolio standard transitions to a clean energy standard requiring all utilities to obtain 100% of their energy from non-carbon emitting resources by 2040. Last fall, our power supplier, Wolverine Power Cooperative, made a monumental long-term commitment on behalf of Homeworks and other Michigan co-ops to purchase power from the Palisades nuclear power plant upon its historic restart. In their legislation, lawmakers recognize the Palisades plant as a vital reliability asset, allowing its output to count both towards renewable and clean energy targets as soon as it comes online. This is beneficial for Michigan Electric Cooperative members and underscores the significance of our Palisades power purchase agreement. Additionally, Homeworks and Michigan's other electric cooperatives already power members with over 50% carbon-free energy, placing us in a better position than many to meet the carbon-free requirements. Nevertheless, the bill overall is still a big lift for Michigan. We still have concerns regarding the pace of decarbonization and its impact on electric reliability and affordability. While we support investments in clean energy, we must also consider the operational realities. Constructing large-scale projects demands considerable time and financial resources, which makes the proposed timeline a challenge for the majority of Michigan's electric utilities. It's also estimated that utilities will need approximately 200,000 plus additional acres for wind and solar power generation to achieve the renewable energy targets in the legislation. We take legislative advocacy very seriously on Homeworks, and I have spoken in the state Congress on the need for a responsible transition that ensures our members and residents across the Midwest and the nation have the electric capacity to meet growing demands as we move toward a clean energy future. My staff and I will continue to engage our legislators and advocate on your behalf on this issue and other relevant matters affecting your communities. The second important bill of the new energy legislation mandates that electric co-op boards approve energy waste reduction plans and programs. Co-ops are now obligated under statute to submit a waste reduction plan to the Michigan Public Service Commission every 4 years. While this represents a more structured process compared to current co-op practices, through our legislative advocacy, we were able to achieve the authority of our local co-op boards to oversee these programs, which is a win for our members who enjoy the flexibility we have to customize our energy optimization programs to meet their needs. As you're probably aware, we're already ahead of the game here at Homeworks, because when the state mandate for energy optimization expired in 2021, we developed our own EO program to continue to meet the energy efficiency needs of our members. Our EO program offers cash rebates to our members who implement qualifying energy efficient measures at their home, farm, or business. In 2023, participating members earned over $210,000 in rebates and saved over 1.2 million kilowatt hours of energy. That's a win-win for our members and our carbon footprint. Anything from new light bulbs to upgraded appliances, HVAC systems, electric vehicles, and more qualify for this program. So I encourage you to visit homeworks.org/EO to learn what rebates you might be eligible to receive. While you're there, you might also want to take a look at our solar energy options. This is something a lot of members are asking about lately. And I want to let you know that we do offer a very robust renewable energy program. As a Homeworks member, you can take part in our community solar offering, our distributed renewable energy option, or our buy all, sell all program, and more. These options offer you different levels of participation in producing solar energy to power your home or business and to sell power back to the electric grid as a whole. If you're interested in learning more about these offerings, give us a call and our energy advisor, Nick Simon, would be glad to talk to you. All right, next up, let's talk about Homeworks Tri-County Propane. Can you believe this service is celebrating 25 years in business this year? In recognition of that significant milestone, we put together a video highlighting our propane team and the exceptional service they provided to our customers for the past 2.5 decades. I hope you enjoy it.
Homeworks Tri-County Propane was founded in 1999 to bring propane service to our member customers in the rural area.
They partnered with another propane company and basically started with 2 customer service representatives and 2 service techs. And we've grown to over 4,300 customers and 13 counties.
We wanted to be a propane company that was different from others. So when we started the propane business, we actually treat our propane customers just like we do our electric members. We try to give them a service that we didn't have to pay extra fees, no hidden fees, the same price for everyone. So we wanted to be a little bit different and honest upfront, a trustworthy company.
I think a lot of people switch to us because of reliability. We don't play into any of the pricing games. We don't charge any extra fees. When you get a delivery, you're paying for the delivery and tax, and that's it. One of the biggest things that we've done here that's helped our propane services has probably been our safety. I really think that we are probably the safest propane company out there. We're at the top in the state. I truly believe that.
So our customer service reps in the call center for our propane business have to be certified through the Propane Gas Association. So they know what safety standards have to be met and knows how to answer all the questions. If there's a gas leak, they can handle that and get that dispatched.
Our field personnel like to treat the customers just like the rest of the co-op, and they're part of the family. They're always willing to go above and beyond. Customers know they can count on us to provide safe, affordable, and reliable service all winter long.
So there you have it. Since 1999, our propane crews have done an exceptional job of delivering great value to customers in our area with dependable propane at competitive prices. At the same time, our experienced and highly trained propane customer service team has worked to provide superior service. We have grown over the years and now serve over 4,300 propane customers throughout our rural service territory. But what has remained is the way we provide propane with the same great safety, service, and reliability that you've come to expect from your co-op. If you don't have our propane service yet, we are offering a special district meeting deal to new customers for the month of May. So call us today and make the switch. Now I want to wrap up my update with some information on our rapidly growing Homeworks Connect fiber internet and phone service. I know many of you are connected to our network, and I hope you're enjoying the high speeds, unlimited data, and 24/7 service we are able to provide. Have you also started to take advantage of our new TechShield and MyBundle service? We have made it available to all subscribers at no additional cost. TechShield offers you added internet security and storage, while MyBundle helps you learn what streaming TV options are best for you. If you'd like to learn more about these services, visit our website or give our fiber team a call. We finished up our Homeworks Connect network build out to our entire membership last May. So I'm incredibly proud to say that every single Homeworks member across our rural footprint now has access to gigabit broadband service. We're up to nearly 12,000 internet subscribers and over 1,000 phone subscribers. And we're beginning to expand our network to non-member areas such as the city of Portland. We're almost done building out our fiber network there, and the take rate amongst the residents so far is exceeding expectations. Expanding our network like this allows us to continue to meet our mission to provide quality communication services to the unserved and underserved in rural mid-Michigan, while also adding value to our electric members who subscribe to Homeworks Connect, as they will eventually see equity returned as additional capital credits when this business turns profit. As you know, quality rural broadband access has become even more vital than ever before over the past few years, and it's only becoming more of a necessity in day-to-day life. We're proud to be answering the need for members and non-members alike across rural mid-Michigan. Similar to electricity, the cost of providing reliable broadband service has risen quite a bit since we began building our network in 2018. We do not play pricing games with our Homeworks Connect packages, and we have not increased our rates at all since the product was first launched. In fact, we actually doubled the speeds of our packages at no cost in 2021 to provide even more value to our subscribers. In the wake of the network outage we experienced earlier this year due to a data center failure, we've also invested significant resources into an enhanced broadband redundancy plan that has made our fiber service even more reliable. Currently, we're looking at how we can restructure our internet packages to offer greater subscriber value while adequately covering our rising costs. We'll provide more information on that to our subscribers later this year. If you haven't signed up for Homeworks Connect yet, you can by visiting join.homeworksconnect.org to check out everything we have to offer. So that was a quick look at the past year of your co-op. As you can see, we've been busy, and it's been a productive year of exciting growth, change, and opportunity. Throughout the rest of the year and beyond, I can promise you that we will always maintain our commitment to providing you with safe, reliable, and affordable utility services that enhance your quality of life.
Thank you for providing that great update, Chris. I hope you all enjoyed hearing about some of the things we've been up to over the past year here at your co-op. Chris is back here live to answer some of your questions before wrapping up with the most exciting part of the night, our prize giveaways. But first, let's reveal the next symbol on your scratch-off cards. Scratch off circle number 2, and if it matches the symbol shown now, you're in luck. Whether or not you have any matches yet, keep that card handy because we'll reveal the final winning symbol after our Q&A session. If you have a question that you'd like our CEO to try to address tonight, please type it in using the Q&A button. We've received a few questions from attendees prior to tonight's meeting during the registration process, so Chris will answer those now. First question. Trees were removed from the right-of-way in my yard. Will someone be returning to remove the stumps?
It's a good question. It's one that we get frequently, so it's a common question that we get. As a matter of maintaining the co-op's right-of-way easement, our contractors will remove any vegetation that's threatening the distribution line or in the distribution system. They also will chip any associated brush. It's the cooperative's historical practice, however, to leave any residual wood or stumps behind. Those items are considered to be the private property of the individual member. If we were to take the step of engaging in wood and stump removal, we would add considerable cost to members' electric rates. And so instead of subsidizing wood removal and stump removal, the cooperative members leave that to the individual property owners, and that's the way we've historically handled it.
Awesome. So somebody asked, I was told you don't support solar connection to your system.
Yeah, and so we, as mentioned earlier in the program tonight, we have a number of different ways that our members can participate in solar through their cooperative. They are community solar. If the members don't want to make the investment on their property, they can purchase a panel and get those associated credits on their monthly bill. Then we can do net metering, which is for smaller solar arrays at members' homes, which would basically net the received and the delivered kilowatt hours. And then for larger commercial arrays, we have a buy all, sell all rate, and we do have members on that also. We're also looking at adding a possible self-supply tariff, which would be pending board approval, which sort of sets in between that net metering and buy all, sell all options. So we do definitely engage our membership in solar and renewable energy. If you have questions on that specifically, give our office a call and ask for Nick Simon or Brandon Treeweiler. They're the folks that are the experts in this area, and they'd be happy to help you.
And then kind of as a follow-up to that question, we have a second part with solar. So why didn't the solar credits increase when we did our rate increase? You want to talk a little bit about solar credits and how that program works for us?
Yeah, so our previous two rate increases, the costs were actually designed to cover increases in our distribution network, not necessarily in our generation costs. And so our solar credits, or the amount that's paid back to members based on solar generation, is paid at avoided cost. And that is cost that would avoid purchasing that generation elsewhere. And so that's why it didn't increase in step with our distribution rate increase.
Thank you. So what is the $33 fee that we find on our bill, and why is it required?
Yeah, really great question. One of the common ones we also get. This fee is known as the availability fee. So it's designed to cover our fixed costs. So as a not-for-profit, member-owned, democratically controlled co-op, basically all of our costs need to be covered by our members. And the way that we cover those is by different methods of recovering it through rate design. And so all of our fixed costs, think poles, wires, transformers, meters, the things that we need to purchase and maintain even before you flip on the light switch, that's what is covered in that $33 a month.
Thank you. Next question. Will it be possible to meet the 2040 net zero carbon mandate?
So I'm going to be fairly candid on this one. For Homeworks and other Wolverine members that are associated with the Palisades power plant and its purchase power agreement and potential restart, the answer is we will definitely hit that carbon-free requirement that is state law. That being said, that will not be easily obtained by other utilities throughout the state, and we are concerned that across the state, you could see increases associated with the new law, along with possible lack of supply, lack of generation resources. So we need to make sure we're transitioning responsibly. Palisades brings about 6% of generation back to the state, but it will not be enough if we retire some of these fossil fuel assets before we have adequate baseload replacement.
Thank you, Chris. So the next question, please explain the huge surge in our electric bills each February.
Yeah, another really common question. February is typically a month with higher energy usage across the board, and that's due to weather. So specifically heating degree days, if you want to get really technical. The last 2 years have been certainly much more mild than it normally is in February. However, if you're experiencing high usage at your specific location, give us a call. We have a way to walk you through possibly what's using it over the phone, and or if we can't solve it that way, we can certainly have customer service come out and do a high bill audit and really get down to what's using the energy in your home.
Awesome. Next question. Can you explain a little bit about the access to the affordable internet when the ACP program ends?
Yeah. So Homeworks rates are constantly evaluated, whether it's our electric business, our internet, phone, or propane. And they're evaluated to recover cost on a break-even basis for our businesses. So in absence of additional government funding, authorization, or another program like the Affordable Connectivity Program, at this point, we're going to revert to our normal prices and normal packages. And so we'll unfortunately have to be charging those going forward because the businesses it needs to cover its cost. It needs to break even. And we're not quite at that juncture yet. We're hoping in 2025 we will be on that business, but we feel like we're offering competitive value to the membership, and that's our current focus, is making sure we have a good value proposition. And obviously, if one member doesn't pay the full price, then all the other members pick up that through a subsidy.
All right, next question. How are you defending against cyber terrorists?
This one I don't get that often, so this is kind of a unique one, but Homeworks has what I'll call a well-developed cybersecurity program. I think of it, and our CIO relates it as just as important as our safety program, in that we're constantly evaluating the threat landscape and thinking about things that we can do to protect ourselves, whether it be in our safety program or in our cybersecurity program. We essentially mix human elements, so elements of training, our employees, machine, so think firewalls and other things of this sort, software, engineering, and administrative controls to crack that nut of defending ourselves in the cyberspace against the bad guys. And we also evaluate this on an annual basis. So our cybersecurity insurance has certain requirements that evolve, and we strive to meet those. In addition to that, we follow best practices for our industry, which are typically outlined by our national organization, NRECA, National Rural Electric Cooperative Association. So that's two ways we continue to sharpen the saw on cybersecurity.
All right, thank you, Chris. Changing gears a little bit, going to our rates. So will our rates remain steady? I see friends who have Consumers Energy and have had many increases.
Yep, consumers just had one, and I believe the Public Service Commission approved DTE for a rate increase also. They're seeing rising costs like the rest of us, and that's really through the last couple of years what businesses have uniformly, especially in the energy space, seen. For 2024, our current finances look fairly stable. I don't think we'll need a rate increase for this year. Now, our financial forecasts do show the need for a nominal increase that may be necessary in 25 or 26. That being said, we're always trying to stay competitive. We want to make sure that your rates are a good value and that we're being fair to you. That being said, we need to make sure that we aren't compromising safety, quality, or reliability in that pursuit. So those are things that are core to the organization's culture and something that our members really value.
Awesome. That is all the pre-questions. So there's a couple that have came in during tonight's session. So we're going to go to those now. So first question from tonight, in what areas of the state has Homeworks power system been vandalized? And also what can be done to harden the system for this issue?
Yeah, so principally we've experienced gunshot damage in Ionia, Eaton, and Clinton counties. And we're taking a number of different steps to try and combat this issue. I won't disclose all of them because we're in a active investigation with law enforcement. But there's a number of different technologies and even a reward that we might post in order to try and solve this issue. So very much interested in bringing this to a close as quickly as possible.
Thank you. Next question from tonight. Please confirm how we can find out more about our TechShield and My Bundle opportunities.
Yeah, if you have questions on TechShield or My Bundle, give us a call. We're happy to help you. I think they're great values. And just give our internet folks a call and they'll walk you through how to sign up and what each one of those services offer you from a value perspective. Great.
Next question. When is the next 6-year cycle to remove trees in Eaton County?
I'd have to verify that. Our certified arborist, Nick Rusnell, would be able to have that right offhand. I don't have that information, but we're happy to follow up with you and tell you at your specific location, if that's what you're looking for, when we'll be there next, barring obviously any trees that are reported to us in or threatening the distribution line.
Thank you. Any plans to increase the rate paid for net metering?
Not at this point. As far as the rate that's being paid back for solar is at avoided cost, and those are typically hedged through our power supply portfolio. So it would stay at that avoided cost model in order to not have other members subsidize the solar credits that's being paid to those who have distributed generation on premise.
Thank you. Next question about Homeworks Connect. Is the Homeworks Connect internet going to be expanded to areas that are served by Consumers Energy? I have a few envious friends around the Santee and Cochrane area in Charlotte.
That is a issue for the board of directors. We are currently pursuing a strategy of serving non-members who are in close proximity to our existing distribution system. Going beyond that is a decision that your board, who is elected by the members, needs to make. This was a system that's been voted on and designed to provide them value, meaning the membership. Anything beyond that would be a decision at the board level, not for myself or management.
Thank you. Back to solar. Can we rent land out to you to put up solar panels?
You could, but that is a strategy currently that we're not pursuing because we do have two very large solar developments, utility scale, that our power supplier is pursuing and is in the queue for. So we'd like to see those through before we invest anything else in solar. Currently, we've had those 2 sites designed and ready for 4 years. And we've been waiting in the MISO queue, which is essentially the regional transmission organization's queue for a study to make sure that their interconnection is going to be safe and reliable. But because that queue is so large with solar projects, we have to wait another probably a couple of years before we can stand those projects up.
Awesome. Thank you. Do you still offer reduced rates for geothermal?
We do. Yeah, we do. We still incentivize geothermal use with a dual fuel meter. So if you have questions about that, that is a Nick Simon, Brennan Treeweiler question. And we offer, I would say, fairly competitive rates on that technology.
All right, back to Homeworks Connect.
Yes.
I signed fiber internet contract for a year. What happens after my year contract is up?
After your year contract is up, you go month to month. There are no contracts. We just have the year contract to cover the costs that the other members make to construct the drop to the home or business. After that, the price stays the same and you're month to month, and you can subscribe and unsubscribe as you'd like at that point in time, upgrade or downgrade your package. So it gives you the freedom that most folks are looking for today as far as internet providers.
Awesome. Last question for right now. What is the process cost for burying our service line?
Yeah, going from aerial to underground on your secondary line coming into your home is just a phone call to our customer service department, and that would be under service new construction, and they would talk to you about how to get an investigation, quote the cost, and if it was something you're interested in, get to actual construction. So give us a buzz and we'll be happy to walk you through that process.
Awesome. I think that's all the questions we have for tonight. So I just want to send a thank you to Marlena Bernheisel, who said she is going to donate her $25 bill credit from tonight's meeting to a low-income senior. So thank you for your generosity, Marlena.
Thank you so much for those insightful questions. If I didn't get to your question, please know we've noted it and that we'll contact you. We'll reach out and follow up with you individually. To conclude, let me say thank you for all of your attendance at our virtual district meeting. We're looking forward to seeing you at your park party in June.
All right. Now it's time to reveal the final winning symbol on your scratch-off card and give away some big raffle prizes. For all of that, we'll pass it over to Executive Assistant Michelle Hoon and Manager of Employee and Member Engagement, Angel McCliggett. Good luck.
Thank you, Casey and Chris. Okay, let's reveal that last symbol on your scratch-off cards. Grab your card and scratch off circle number 3 to see if it matches the symbol shown on the screen now.
Now that we have revealed all of the sections, look to see if your card matches any of the symbols on the screen. If it matches one symbol, you win 1 free month of Homeworks Connect service or an equivalent bill credit. If it matches 2 sections, you win 3 free months. And if you were a lucky winner to match all 3 sections, you'll receive your grand prize of 6 free months of Homeworks Connect service. That sounds amazing.
That does sound amazing. Just send your winning card into the address shown on the card by May 31st, and we'll apply your prize to your account. Congrats to all of our winners.
Okay, moving on to our raffle drawings. We have randomly selected our prize winners tonight from the list of those who are in attendance this evening. Let's get started.
Okay, we're going to start with some $25 bill credits. We have 4 of those that we're going to give away this evening. Our first prize winner is Mark Dixon. Congratulations, Mark. We have Rana Davis, Craig Dreary, and Lee Merchant. Congratulations.
Okay, the next one is the $50 bill credits. First one goes to Sharon Parker, and the second one to Crystal Hopkins.
The next item we're going to give away this evening is a grilling accessory kit. The winner of that, cook up some good stuff on the grill.
Right? It's grilling season.
It is. It's for Sharon Rourke.
All right. And then we have an Amazon Echo Show for Eric Ganser. I hope I said that one. right.
Hopefully you did.
It's-
I'm sure you did.
Okay.
Our next prize this evening is for a Sony compact wireless speaker. The winner of that is for Ted Hendon.
All right, and the next one up is the wireless noise canceling earbuds for John Lozon. Michelle, I think you're giving me the hard name.
The next one is one of my favorite ones. It's a smokeless indoor grill.
I
And
love
that's-
it.
The winner of that is Megan Mertzmaker. See, that was kind of a hard one.
That's a hard one too. And then the Bluetooth meat thermometer for Christy Knapp.
And along with all of the other grilling accessories, we also have a 20-pack backpack Arctic cooler.
Well, that sounds way better than the 3 that we gave away last year.
The winner of the cooler this year is for Madison Sorensen.
All right, and then, which I think is the good one, the
Yes.
wood fire pizza oven, Norman Beers.
There's lots of things you can do with that pizza oven.
There's
So,
lots.
There is.
It looks amazing. We can't wait to hear about it, Norman.
Yes. We also try to support locally. So we have a couple of gift cards we're going to give away this evening. The first one is a $50 gift card to the Eaton Craft Company in Eaton Rapids. The winner of that is for Janine Baldwin.
And then the next one is the Main Street Bakery in Leslie, and that goes to Loretta Smith. And that's it for our prizes this evening. Thank you so much for attending, and we hope you enjoyed your district meeting. If you want a bill credit this evening, it will be placed on your account in the coming days. If you want a gift card, we will mail it to you. And if you want another prize, we will be calling you to make plans to get it to you.
Thank you all for attending this evening and have a great night.
Have a great night.
Thank